Good evening, everybody. Great day, great Monday. Tonight we have a very special guest during this beautiful Women's Month. We had a beautiful person here, beautiful personality. She's coming to bring all her energy, expertise, tell us what she's doing, what she got going on, and all that good stuff, Miss Takiyah Diamond. What's going on, young lady?
Hey, hey, hey. What's up? First thing we gotta do is lift up the vibration on this interview because I know Quentin Q be like laid back, but TK is lit. I'm turned up all the time. So tonight might be a little more live and popping because Q be on the Q and T is on the K. So listen, we're gonna kick it tonight. I'm excited to be here. Thank you so much for having me here tonight. Shoot, I had a question for you. What inspired you to bring me on your show tonight?
It's Women's Month, and
Yes.
one of the interesting things during Women's Month is we try to take out the month and highlight women, but the 31 days in March is not enough, and
Right.
sometimes our schedules don't coincide. And I wanted to bring you on because I've been seeing you. I know you've been doing your thing for a while, and really like being an
Yes.
influencer isn't always easy, but it's about being consistent. And you've been consistent since day one, since I've been following you on social media. And I was like,
Thank
she always got all this energy, all this passion of what she does, and I wanted to bring you on just so you can explain everything. Who are you? Where you from? And then we'll get into what you do.
All right. Well, first of all, when we say who am I am another you. I am, a powerful force that is here literally as a change agent to help people transform three things, which is their brains, their businesses, and their bank accounts. And if those are three things that you are interested in doing, then I'm definitely somebody that you want to follow. So for me, what I do is I know we talking about who I am, where I'm from, New Jersey. Let's talk about I'm originally from New Jersey, but Jersey girl, Brick City. Shout out to the bricks. Shout out to Jersey. Period. Thank you guys so much for all the love. But I am a resident of the ATL now for the past couple years, and I love the peace.
Mm,
I
mm.
love the peace
Yeah,
that
yeah.
comes with here and yeah.
Everybody opposed to where we sometimes in the inner city we on top of each other. It's too crowded. Even though you like we discussed earlier,
Oh
you miss it
God.
because it's home. But when you're there, you like, oh, I gotta go. I gotta get up out of here.
I have no real push to go back.
That's right.
I miss it because, like you said, it's home. My son is there, and my mom is there, my dad is there, and all of my fans are there for a lot of a lot of part. But it's like New Jersey. I love it. It's cool. But I don't have no peace in New Jersey. And New Jersey people don't respect your boundaries. They tend to just think that it's all right to invade your space. So the best thing I could do is create my own space in a whole nother neck of the woods that they probably wouldn't want to come
Well,
to.
so a lot of times, Takia, when a person
Yes.
hears, oh, someone is a financial coach, financial guru, I think in our communities, it's a lot of apprehension. I think it might go back in the day. Remember the insurance man used to come around the hood and get everybody money, and then nobody see him for another 30 years. So I think that a lot of times, like I really do, I think that a lot of black people, culturally, we're very apprehensive when we hear financial coach, um, financial guru. Explain
Yes.
before you even get into first explain it the two businesses that you have, two of the businesses that you have.
Okay. So I have a couple different businesses. Well, we'll start with Minds Up Transformation Company. And Minds Up Transformation Company is literally a coaching firm that helps entrepreneurs to build their confidence so that they can increase their income. So for me, I'm not more so like a financial guru. I'm more of a money mindset coach. And what I do is I literally teach you how to shift the way that you think, because a lot of the problems that you think that you have, you don't really have. So for instance, people would say, man, I got money problems, man. I got money problems. But the truth is, it's not really money problems that you have. It's money that you have. It's money patterns that you have. It's money beliefs that you have. And it's also the lack of knowledge and the lack of understanding of the power that you have to possess the information, to possess the connections, to possess something so much greater than just looking at your bank account, say 6 and 7 and 8 figures, but knowing that what it takes to be able to do that, who you become as you decide that I'm changing who I am because I'm choosing a better financial future. So knowing that if I change my mindset, that's going to help me change my actions. And when I change my actions, that's going to help me have better results when it comes to making decisions in my finances, you know? Although I can teach you a lot about saving, budgeting, and things like that, but that's not really my thing. It's like I'll tell it to my clients, like if I see like they're falling off in some way or whatever, or they got some bad habits going on. But for the most part, I'm really interested in closing the gap between where you are financially and where you want to be. I want to help you to meet and exceed those income goals that you have. So if you are still at $5,000 a month, but you're trying to get to $10,000 a month, what are the beliefs in between there that's keeping you from hitting $10,000 a month or more in your business?
So let me ask you, what gravitated you towards that, towards wanting to
Money
tap in?
mindset. I think that it was more so of a gift that was given to me more than anything. Um, I don't even know where it came from. It was just more like this profound wisdom. Like, as you know, or you guys may not know, for those of you who are watching me for the first time, all right, I'll give you guys a little of my back history. So I started out in the music industry. That's where I literally got my first taste of fame and fortune. Being in the music industry, I learned a whole lot of things wasn't what it was cracked up to be. But I learned all of this back in like 2011. No, it could have been even before that. Maybe like 2007, 2008, somewhere in that nature. I started to learn, I started to see things. I'm not going to say I started to learn. I started to see things. And a lot of the things that I started to witness didn't resonate with my spirit. So I want to say like around maybe 2010, 2011, something came over me and I just kind of began to wake up. I walked away from the music industry. I walked away from the contracts. I walked away from all of that. And I just was like, I didn't want to have nothing to do with music at the time. I didn't want to sing a note. I didn't want to write a hook. I didn't want to have anything to do with it because I understood that the music industry was something so evil. And I'm not going to say just music, entertainment, media, period. It was a lot of mind control. And so I just didn't want to be a part of it. So I'll never forget, at the time, I've always been a business owner since, I got out of nursing school around maybe 24, maybe like 22, 23, somewhere in that nature. And I did nursing for like maybe a year. Then I was like, oh, this is not for me. Right. And so I went to actually work in human resources for a big company called Allegheny Technologies with Xerox, doing human resources and still helping people in the medical field though. And so what kind of gave me the punch, so to speak, was I started out doing health and welfare benefits, and then got into pensions, and then they put me into 401ks. So it was like, it wasn't something that I was looking to do. I came in as just one thing, and the next thing I know, I just became this whole other thing. So lo and behold, I was leaving work one day, and I'm listening to the infamous Kendrick Lamar. And Kendrick, he says this verse while I'm driving home. Mind you, I'm just like, I'm starting to wake up. I'm starting to see things differently. And I hear this line, and it changes everything for me in a heartbeat. He says, I used to borrow peace of mind because my thinking was way behind. That one line, by the time I got home, I had a whole nother song. So I'm going to give y'all a little bit of it. I used to borrow peace of mind because my thinking was way behind. There was nothing but illusions that brought me to this conclusion. Consumed by devolution, the media is my institution. School of the brainwashed lies and mass confusion. Alive a mental slave. I'm living, but in my grave, I had to die and resurrect my life and pray for better days. See, tracks made me react. I called it a step back. I'm immersing myself with facts. I'm no longer a victim for that. See, even with 3D vision, I'll admit it, I was slipping, ignoring my intuition, resisting the fact I'm different, pretending I was blind, knowing that I didn't fit in. I separated myself to finish the mission given. Nothing but distractions, realizing what really happened. I was caught up by the beast, but thank God I've been released. Now I'm awakened. And that's what came out. And I don't know, from that point forward, I don't know, my life just soared to this higher frequency, to this higher level of understanding, to it. Even the person that I was with at the time, he called me on the phone and I was speaking so eloquently. He was like, well, who is this? And I said, I don't know who she is, but whoever she is, I love her. I think she's amazing. And you know, I just, from that point, I really just surrendered to the journey. I realized that, you know, it wasn't about what I wanted for me. It was what I was being called to be. It was like, yes, music, that was your driving force to get the people to love you and fall in love with you, doing the bad girl movies and all of that stuff. You know, I did some shoot 'em up, bang bangs and all that kind of stuff. So you know, it's weird because when people know my history and the type of music that I used to do, not that it was like, I was never out there like I'm not gonna disrespect nobody, but trashy. But you know, I may have had some trashy lyrics. Let's just keep it 100. I mean, yeah, you know. But
I mean, as they say, it's the culture, right?
Hey, listen, you can take the girl out the hood, but you can't take the hood out the girl. You know what I mean?
So I know that you use a holistic approach and getting people to understand you're not broke, or
yes,
you got more value than you really think you got. You're not really living check to check. You think you are,
right,
but you're not. If you can, without giving all your secrets away, explain how you literally have to hold somebody's hand and take them on that journey of, it's a build up to basically they're out on their own.
All right. So the first thing is understanding the beliefs that are limiting your success. If you don't know what's hindering your success, then you can't change anything because you don't know what to change. So my job as a coach is to first analyze, what are your thoughts and behaviors when it comes to your finances? So, for example, if I say to you, money don't grow on trees, does that sound familiar to you? That sounds familiar to you. So when you hear that and I ask you, where did you hear that from? It's most likely you heard it from your mother or your father or your grandmother. Money don't grow on trees. Don't you ask me for no money. Don't ask me for nothing. I'm out here, I'm paying these bills. So right, what happens then is now there's a trauma response that you have that's connected to asking for money, asking for what you're worth, asking for the top dollar that you deserve, and no matter what it is that you do. Even in relationships, you're afraid to ask for the love that you deserve. You're afraid to ask for the things that you desire and deserve, because what? You're afraid of rejection. Why? Because somewhere down the line, mom, dad, whoever rejected you and told you you weren't good enough, or it's too hard to make money. Money don't come easy. But the thing is, money don't come to you easily. It don't come to that person easily. Why is it that we have certain people on one part of the world where money just flows freely and effortlessly to them, and then in that same, maybe the person could live right next door to you and they're struggling. Why is that? It's because they got two completely different upbringings. One upbringing is on a much higher frequency, which is receiving, and the other one is resistance. I'm resisting it. I don't believe I can have it. And since I don't believe I can have it, and what you think about, you bring about, you're right. Whether you believe you're right or whether you believe you're wrong, you're right. So it's really about taking a look at your.
Let me ask you, Takiyah, and I know because you definitely are speaking on some real stuff that I think that
Yes,
most
no
of us,
problem.
when we're honest with who we are and what we've been through, we can identify with a lot of the trauma.
Yes.
Let me ask you, how can I word it? When you, so you don't come in basically on the financial. You basically want to get to know the client, see what they're about. They get to tell you their upbringing because, like you said, a lot of times that scenario that you pointed out can lead to, okay, it may not affect their life financially, but it might affect their relationship life. It might affect their
Right.
children's life because
Right.
we might start telling our own children, "Oh, money don't grow on trees. Go out there and pick it off the tree." And then it's like,
Exactly.
okay, like what are we
It's
working
learned
for?
behavior. It's learned behavior. So we gotta think, even when we speak words like, man, I'm broke. But are you really broke? You gotta think about when you got something that's broke can't be put to get back together. It can't, so, it can't be fixed, right? But if you're broke, how do you expect to put your finances back together if you're telling your subconscious mind, I'm broke, which means my finances can't be fixed? And people are not aware of the terms that they use that are literally telling their subconscious mind, don't give me anything. Leave me in lack and limitation. Leave me in scarcity. Why? Because that's where your brain is at. Your mind is wired to scarcity. The moment that you decided to take a leap of faith in another direction, something comes in and says, oh, you think that you can do that? Who's going to listen to you? Who's going to buy from you? Who's going to, and this is literally a deeper part of yourself called our ego that's literally trying to stop you in your tracks from making that move. But here's the secret. Here's the kicker, guys. It's trying to stop you because you have programmed it to do so. Your beliefs, your habits, your behaviors, your thoughts, all of these patterns has taught ego and taught your brain that when you want to do something different, it's got to bring you back. It's got to bring you back to that temperature. I'll give you an example. Let's say, for instance, we're in a room, right? It's just me and you. The temperature is set to 75 degrees. That's the default temperature. Now we invite some friends over, and us color people, we draw heat. So, what happens, we get in this room and all of a sudden, the temperature on the thermometer goes up to about 90 degrees, right? Now, it's the thermostat's job to bring the temperature back down to 75 because it knows that this is the normal default temperature that I'm supposed to be on. So what happens if it's central heating in air, the AC is going to kick on to bring the temperature back down to normal. So this is the same thing when it comes to your finances. So for instance, that your normal is 5,000. When you try to want to make 10,000, yes, you get to 7,000. Now your brain starts freaking out. Wait a minute. This is not normal. Hold on. We're used to making $5,000 or less. You can't do this. You can't think differently. No. So it'll bring certain situations into your life experience, literally, to make it so you do not hit that $10,000 for the month.
And this
Why?
and
Because it's
for those
just
in
the
the chat,
way
for
it
those in the chat
works.
that may watch the broadcast, this is why Takiyah uses a holistic approach with it, because
Yes.
even from the conversation, most of us don't think big. We
Right.
think we think at a parameter, our comfort zone, right? And then,
Yes.
like you said, once we get to, oh, I got 5,000. No, I got 8,000. I got to do something with that other three. I don't feel right. I don't feel normal to the settings that I put
Yes.
settings on myself, instead of saying, okay,
Yes.
my limitations is basically sky the limit. I shouldn't be I
Yes.
should be limitless on things
Right.
that I'm trying to accomplish. Instead, I'll say, "Oh, I want to do this. I want to do that. I just want to be the manager at my job." And when that's all
Right.
you start with, that's I'm gonna tell you something. I've heard a lot of different people explain it, but you explain it very simplistic.
Yes.
Be-
I
Because
think
I
that's kind of why most people gravitate towards me, and they buy my books, and they hire me to coach with me and things like that, because
power of the profit,
yep, the power to profit.
power of the profit. That is on Amazon, right?
Yes, it's on Amazon, it's in Barnes and Nobles and all of that wonderful stuff. The
Is
power to
that's your first? You wrote 5 books, right?
I'm actually at 10.
Ooh, ooh, 10?
I won an award for 5. I haven't submitted anything else since. So,
Wow.
but yeah, and I also, which is another thing I wanted to mention to people that I do besides money mindset coaching, is help you become a first time author. If you but I only work with you if you have a story to tell that is going to lead to somebody's transformation, which means that
Mm.
I don't help you with your book to just pull your heart out. Oh, I'm a victim. No, it's it's
Ain't,
you're
ain't,
writing
ain't
your
gonna
book
ain't
to
gonna be no
teach.
ain't gonna be no trauma bonding going on, huh? Don't be
Right.
coming with that energy.
Like,
You gotta come. You
listen,
gotta bring me some energy when you come. Wow.
right. So listen now. Well, I understand your heart got broke. And that's another thing too, guys. Nobody don't break your heart. They break your expectations. That's a whole nother thing. You feel what I mean? So yeah, now I
Say
could
that
touch on
again.
A lot of topics, but we talking money
Say that
tonight.
again. Say that again. I like that.
I said,
No,
they
no,
don't
no.
break your heart. People don't break your heart. They break your expectations. That part.
All I'm gonna say for anybody that been there, had their heart quote unquote broken, that definitely gives us a different perspective, because, like you said, we put expectations on human beings, our
Yes.
expectation on them, and knowing that they may have flaws or whatever, and we expected more from a human being that they might be able to offer.
That's
Wow,
right.
wow,
That's right.
wow.
And then AQ, you gotta look at this. It's the same thing when it comes to your money, because the relationship that you have with money is determining whether you have a lot of it or not enough. So if your expectation is I'm gonna be broke every time I get money, the faster it comes in, the faster it goes out. These are the things you telling your subconscious mind. So literally your subconscious has the expectation that fast as the money come in, is gonna find a reason for it to go back out. So if your relationship with money is not good, what are you saying to yourself when it comes to your finances? That you never have enough? Or are you seeing the opposite, to where there's always a way to make more? Are you planting the seed in yourself? Are you asking the right questions? A lot of times you're asking the wrong questions. Why is this happening to me? Why is money not coming into my life? And when you ask questions like that, your brain goes out and seeks the answer to that. So instead of asking, why is this not working for me? You should be asking, like, how can this work for me? How can I allow more money into my life? Because guess what happens? The same thing. Your brain will go and seek out the answer to come back to you to solve that problem. See, a lot of times when we try to do things too much with what we think that we know, instead of understanding that we have something, an infinite intelligence within us that's so much more powerful than who we are. You know why they say everything that you need is inside of you in order for you to manifest what you want? Because it is. It's literally three things at play here: your brain, what you think; your heart, what you feel in your heart, you're dealing with your emotions; and your energy, your frequency. What energy are you vibrating? If you're around people who are always down and out and never have enough, it's just a matter of time before you be right in the same boat with them. You could have been doing good.
Yeah,
All of a
you're
sudden
right
you
about
start,
that.
then you start picking up their habits. You start when you go out with them, now you're spending money that you actually used to save, but now you're like, oh well, I'm gonna just have one drink, and then one drink leads to three, and you done spend almost $100 on something that you could have went and bought a six-pack for like $12. So you have to look at your habits. You also have to look at the people that you're surrounded by and the habits of them, because their habits are slowly but surely going to become yours. And this is one of the reasons why a lot of times when people become celebrities, they cut their family members off. It's because the celebrity world is literally a whole nother world. It's a whole nother world that I can't even explain it. Even the one that the world y'all see on TV is just not even the other world. Like, it's just a whole nother world going on over there, you know? And then here we have our world. But when we think about the celebrities, what happens is, in order for them to keep their caliber and not fall off, they're actually being mentally trained to, why do you think there's so many songs about money, 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 money? Because this is the focus. This is the thing. It's to make you guys, to make humanity, make the collective feel like, I want that. I gotta have that. So let me fight for that, because that's what's gonna give me meaning in my life. That's not giving you no meaning in your life. Money itself does not give you power. It's what you do with the money that gives it power. If I have $1,000 in front of me right now, this $1,000 literally has no power until I take the $1,000 and I go do something with it. When I invest, when I trade it, when I barter, like, it has no value in the middle of the street doing nothing. It's worthless until I give it power. Thing which your thought, way that you think, the thoughts are gonna come. You're gonna have thoughts that sometimes are imposed on you by other people. But when the thoughts come in, are you claiming ownership to it? You realize that thought has no power until you pick it up and adopt it as your own. Just like the dollar bill has no value until you pick it up and take it to the store and use it. It's just a piece of paper. Otherwise, it's just a thought. So what are the thoughts that you're having in regards to the thoughts that you are having? Go deeper.
It's definitely, and it goes into the
right?
it goes into the mindset, and you're right. It's like a person may come to you and see what you do and say, well, I'm gonna go to her and she could help me think of a financial mindset. But it's really because it's a holistic approach, it's really a life-changing mindset, because most of us that grew up in the hood, as they say, glass half empty. It's half empty. I don't got this. I don't, like you said, it's always,
either half
what you
empty or
can't
half
do.
full. It's right.
Yeah.
It's either the glass is either half empty or half full, but it's based on your perception. It's based on your perspective. So if I see in my mind that it's always a struggle in order for me to get money, but guess what? On the other side, maybe you might think that it's a struggle, but if in my mind I know that I can have money with ease, I'm going to choose ease. So then I ask myself, what is it going to take for me to allow money to show up in my life with ease? But the average person is going to be in defense. Like,
You know,
well, it's
I have
just
a
me. Oh,
I have a
because
I
that's
have
what
a
you.
I have a confession, Takiyah. You're gonna laugh when I tell you this, right?
I'm not
I'm
going.
not one.
I'm
I'm
not
not.
going to laugh at you. I
I'm
promise
not.
you, I'm on
I'm not one of
it.
those people. I'm not one of those people who believe in fads a lot. So when everybody nowadays is saying generational curses, right? I
Yes.
don't. I particularly don't like to
Don't
say I believe in
buy.
that, right? But the perspective that you're giving me makes me look at the generational curse thing a little different because
Yes.
a lot of times when you have high functioning people, everybody's high functioning around them. And when you have
Yes.
people who are low vibrational,
Yes.
everybody's low vibrational. It's like, how was work? It was all right, and went to 9 to 5, and this, that, and third.
Right.
And then when you see people that's the go getters, everything's a hustle, everything's they moving, they don't got time to sleep, they don't got time to
Right.
worry about, oh, a bill came, okay, I'm gonna pay it, don't worry about it. Some people
Right.
see one bill and they know they got the money, they just be like,
Nah, exactly. Exactly. And that's literally, check this out. Let's go a little bit deeper, right? So when people have that thought, it literally triggers an emotion in the body. When that emotion gets set off, then it creates a chemical reaction in the body, right? So when you have good thoughts and exciting thoughts, you got the dopamine, you got the, when you're in fear, you got the adrenaline, and so all of these different things. This is why I really specialize in emotional mastery, guys, because once you understand the damage that your emotions do to the outcome of your life, you're going to see how important it is for you to actually manage the emotions that you feel. So it's more so to be the observer of what has been my experience when it comes to my finances, right? So if I'm able to look at what my experiences have been, do I have the ability to gain a new skill in order to learn more about how to manage my money better? You do. Do I have the ability to take a course on budgeting and things of that nature to make sure that I have a better financial consciousness when it comes to my money? I can. But what happens is most people, they don't. They don't. Why is that? Because it takes it back to that whole, if we talk about the generation curse, really about it being no black magic with a spoon thing or whatever being a curse. This is literally mental programming that has been passed down to you. That is the curse. This,
yeah,
this ain't a potion. This is
it's one
about a
thing.
behavior, a lifestyle that has been passed down to you for generations before your mother, before your mother's mother, before your mother's mother. All of these things were dumped on, forgive me, but mostly black people,
It's one
because
thing
truthfully,
to
they really didn't want
yeah.
us to know the power that we possess. They didn't want us to know that. And so because they did not want us to know, they had to reprogram us to make us think that we were at the bottom of the totem pole, only to find out that your melanin is priceless.
Yeah. It's one thing to know your history. It's another thing to try to learn from it. But like, okay, it happened.
Yes.
It happened. But now you're allowing the trauma to continue by
Right.
keep being in that trauma state instead of
Yes.
saying, yeah, this happened. Oh, yeah, that happened. I ain't forget it happened, but we talking about what I'm doing to combat that and what I'm doing to
Right.
not
That's
allow. And we always talk about it as parents. You want your kids to live better than you was raised.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I tell you
Wow.
what, I'm gonna share with y'all something from my book. You guys go get a copy of this book for real. All right, so in this book, in this chapter, it's called growth mindset versus your fixed mindset, right? So somebody with a growth mindset, no, let's say with a fixed mindset. If your mindset is fixed, you avoid challenges. If your mindset is growth, then you embrace challenges. If your mindset is fixed, then you give up easily. But if your mindset is set to growth, then you keep going when things get difficult. If your mindset is fixed, you see effort as a waste of time. You ignore criticism. You feel threatened by the success of others. But when you have a growth mindset, you see effort as, effort as the path to mastery. You learn from criticism. You learn from and you find inspiration from the success of others, right? So just taking a look at the habits and the behaviors of just those little things. There's so much more that I could give y'all on that, but we don't have a lot of time for me to give y'all the whole lesson. But I just wanted to share, right?
Just buy her book, Amazon, Barnes and Noble. She's a 10-time author and counting. She also helps people with writing their first book, as long as your book is helping someone and passing on the information where somebody could benefit. The power of the prophet.
Yes. And see, with people, when they hear the title, they say, is it the power of the prophet, like as in prophesying? But my thing is like, no, I may be prophesying to you in this book.
Yeah, I mean, I think those two words, even though they're spelled a lot, they can be used simultaneously. And if you really
Yes.
understand, and if just by talking to you and knowing the title of the book, you basically would profit from being able to master your mindset. And I think that's one of the
Exactly.
things that, even from watching you for the last 3-4 years in a lot of the stuff that you do on Facebook, we're getting people to understand you're limitless.
Right.
You don't put yourself. It's bad enough of situations that put us in boxes, but you're putting yourself in a box.
Self-sabotage, imposter syndrome. And if we talk about imposter syndrome, that's the version of you that know you could do it, but for some reason you're just looking for a reason to not be good enough. Or you feel like I'm a fraud because I don't really have it all together, but you could very well have it mostly together. But in your mind, because you got this whole perfectionism thing going on, it's killing you. It's killing your money. It's killing your happiness. This is the main thing that I ask anybody. What is it costing you to continue to keep thinking the same thoughts that you've been thinking all of these years?
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Let's go deeper, right? What is it costing you? I can tell you the number one thing that is costing you. It's costing you your peace, because you can't sleep at night when you're thinking about how you gonna get your next dollar, what you gonna eat, how you gonna get the kids some milk, diapers, whatever the case might be. So the first thing it's costing you is your peace. The next thing that not changing your money mindset is costing you is it's costing you your relationships. Why? Because sometimes in your marriage, your thoughts about money is the complete opposite of your mate's thoughts about money. And because you never really sat down to have a conversation and build a foundation around what your financial outlook is as a family, is why it looked the way that it looked, which is not good. Both of you are struggling. While both of you struggling, somebody has to be the one to step up and have the mentality to say, well, you know what, babe, let's invest in this because this is going to make us more money. Too often we are spending money that don't make you money back. And that's the worst habit to have, right? How often
Yeah.
do you go and you're just buying things just because you got the money, but then when you really need the money and your phone is shut off, you think back to all them 50 things you bought at the Dollar Tree that you could have used to pay your phone bill. So these are behaviors and habits and traits and trends and things like this that you can literally watch out for and be observant of, and just be mindful and watch yourself. That one of the things you can do is when you go to the store and you get ready to spend your money, I want you to put the dollar up or whatever, and go to the thought in your mind that you have when you're about to give that lady or that man the $20 bill or whatever it is. What is your thought? Is it you give it to them and you like, damn, I don't really spend this thing. I was trying to hold that 20, but let me go ahead and get this. Or is your mindset like, here you go? Why? Because there's more where that came from. Why am I going to be stuck in my mind about not having enough and I got to be this Debbie Downer when I can literally have a shift in my mindset and remember what I'm worth and understand that I am the creator of my reality. And if I change my frequency and I change my point of focus, then I actually disable any resistance from money being able to be attracted to me. So I'm creating the roadblock. I'm the one who's self-sabotaging. I'm the one back to being the imposter, pretending to be something that I'm not. I'm the one. I'm the one who's saying, I don't deserve this because maybe you made some mistakes with money in the past. Okay, you made a mistake. So you hold yourself hostage over a financial mistake you made. But guess what? You can take that mistake and turn it into a purpose. And that purpose is, I learned from that. Because I made that mistake, it grew me. Now I know what not to do. Rather than beating yourself up like, man, that was just so dumb, man. I bet it $100,000 on this racetrack. Whatever. Y'all mentally things. Whatever, gambled your money or invested in something bad, right? And then when it all falls down, I tell you one thing, rich people, they play the game to win. Poor people, they play to not lose. You see the difference? The rich person knows that they're going to take a risk. I might multiply this, I might lose this, but either way, I'm down to play. I'm down to take the risk because you know what? I can't see what's possible if I don't play. Now, the poor person is scared to play. It's like, I don't know, because if I do this now, I'm not going to be able to do this. I'm not going to be able to do that, right? Because
they're hedging their bets. They're hedging their bets. They're hedging their bets.
Right. Exactly. So, it's like,
I've been there.
Right.
I've been there.
And so guess what? It happens. Everybody makes some bad decisions, but now next time, no, I'm not going to never tell nobody don't gamble, don't enjoy what you do, what you enjoy doing. But I'm going to tell you, be mindful of what you're doing. Be mindful of how much you're doing it, and be mindful if you're overdoing it, because now you're going to create a problem where we need to be calling the gambling hotline, because now you turning up your what is it? They got to confiscate your house for collateral. y'all, it's just too much.
Now you're taking too many chances.
For some chips. For some chips on the table or the twist of a card, man, I'd rather take that $100,000 and invest it knowing that $100,000, I'll put it in some real estate knowing it's gonna make me $500,000. Knowing that, you feel what I'm saying? So it's really, a lot of people just lack knowledge of, I'm not even going to say that they lack knowledge of the different ways that you can actually make money or have money with ease. For instance, let me say this, right? So this is one of the ways that you get to have money with ease, right? You have to choose easy, right? So here's the thing. Working a 9 to 5, I got to put in this hard work. I got to live this paycheck to paycheck, But if you get into real estate, you can sell one property and you can make $11,000 in one property. Just by showing somebody the property, them falling in love with it, and them making their deposits, and now you're $11,000 richer. That's money made easy. That's allowing money to come to you with ease, right? You seek out ways that money can come to you with ease, but you ask your brain, what are the ways that money could come to me easily and frequently without no harm to anyone? But because we do not know how to speak life into our life or speak life into our finances, we end up getting a life that somebody else handed us. And that's why I come in to snatch you. Let's go.
So, Takiyah, how does somebody join your program?
Okay, so you can go to my website. I always recommend that it's shoot me an inbox message or something on Facebook as well. But you can go to my website and you can literally book a session. TakiyahDiamond.com, TAKIYAH. Diamond like the ring, TakiyahDiamond.com. When you get to the site, you'll see a link that says Coach with me. So when you click on that link, it's going to take you to my calendar. Find a spot and pencil it in, book it. Once you book the session, it's going to give you a few questions to help me to know where you currently are. So whether it's you wanting to write a book or whether it's you literally needing a coaching to increase your income in your business because your mindset is just all jacked up, then I want you to tell me that. I want you to say, like, listen, I don't know what's going on. So my first question is going to be, how much money are you making in your business and how much do you want to make in your business? And then I'm going to ask you the question, why do you believe you're not making it? Because it's whatever happens after the word because, that's the underlying story that's keeping you from it.
Great. Folks,
you see this?
I knew this show or this interview or this chat would be the way that it is, and this is who Tikiyah is. She always has all this great energy and always got this great information, and really yes. I appreciate that she allowed herself to come on, and I definitely benefited from having this conversation and really thinking about your mindset and
yes,
pessimistic, optimistic. It always yeah. I always be in a
potato, right?
Yeah, exactly.
In this book, guys, I actually give you, I believe, it's 8 passive ways to make an additional income because some people maybe in your mind you really believe there's no other way to make money besides a 9 to 5. All right, but in this book I actually break this whole thing down for you that we have 4 bars when it comes to 4 boxes when it comes to our finances, right? So we have the employed, then we have, that's where you trade your time for money. We got the self-employed, where you work for yourself, but you can do what you want to do as far as your time. But then we got passive. Your passive money is actually having money working for you, right? That's your big business. That's where people, they say like people are, where other people are working hard, you're making the money easily. You get what I mean? Or it's that one thing that you made. For example, I'm also a course creator. I have a course out called Fearless Cash Confidence. So if you're literally wanting to get past all of the fears when it comes to your financial confidence, you can take the course and it will help you overcome whatever those things are, right? And so the last one would be an investor. So the 4 pillars, but you want to ask yourself, which one are you, right? Are you the investor? Are you the one that has money working for you? Are you the one that's trading time for money? Or are you the one that's still working for yourself, which you still trading time for money? You're just more involved inside your business, right? So in order to allow money to come to you with ease, you have to allow yourself to be involved in the things that let money come to you easily. There's real estate things that you can do right now that won't even cost you anything out of pocket, to where you actually got to go take out a loan and buy a $500,000 house. There's so many different things that you can do. There's other things when it comes to not just real estate investing, right? Well, we know investing could be a little wishy-washy depending on what you're investing in the stocks. But listen, make sure that you get invested in a compound fund to where you're not taking a loss, but money is always growing, and it's growing effortlessly based on what other people are doing in the fund. You see what I mean? So it's like, if you don't have this wisdom, then money coming to you easily is not going to be in your radar, because you're not asking yourself, how can I make me easily? Your mentality is by default, how do I make money? And I know I got to work hard for it, which is the belief that's hindering you. It doesn't have to be hard. And even if you're working a 9 to 5, there's nothing wrong with working a 9 to 5, especially if you love what you do when you work in your 9 to 5. But the thing is that if you're there from 9 to 5 and your energy is like, I don't want to be here, are you going to be motivated to even do your own thing when you get off of work? You know what I mean? So it's like, while you at your 9 to 5, you should be thinking about, what is that thing that actually really, really drives you? What's that thing that really makes your heart sing, that really makes you feel like you're giving value? Like, for instance, your podcast, it's giving value. So now you ask yourself, what is the best way for me to actually monetize from my podcast? And you see in your mind people willingly and what's the word I'm looking for? People, like, they willingly want to advertise on your network, right? So they're grateful to give you their credit card number, to pay the invoice, to get, do whatever it takes to have it aired on your thing. But the thing is, in order for you to have that, you got to see that. You have to, in your mind, begin to see, you know what? My podcast is reaching volumes of people. I offer a lot of value. And I know that people have businesses and things that they do that they want to be heard and they want to be seen. The benefit is, it's not about charging them. It's more so about the exchange, that in exchange for my viewers, you are providing me with financial compensation for what I have to offer you, to put you in front of my audience. You understand? Once you break that limitation off your mind of, well, I can't do this because people are not going to want to pay for it, that's one of the biggest beliefs that really block you. Because as an entrepreneur, you think that somebody's not going to pay you for something, but that's really your limiting belief. That's really your thing of you believing that somebody's not going to pay you. There's several people out there who would gladly be like, oh, okay. But it's not until you got that confidence that, you know what, listen, guys, on my podcast, I have about 10,000 viewers on YouTube, whatever the story might be, or whatever. And listen, my site gets a lot of traffic. Don't you want to expose your business to more people? If that sounds like something that you're interested in, then get a time slot with us so that we can advertise your products, your albums, your courses, your Send us an email for pricing. Boom. You get what I mean?
But you got to think.
So, you get what I mean? Listen, see,
exactly.
That's what I meant as the coach, to say, okay, this is what you're doing, but how do we monetize that? So it's one thing to say that this is what we do, but how am I making a living off of my purpose? How am I making a living off of my passion, off of my calling? Right? Because at the end of the day, you can have a passion to do something, but is that what you're called to do? Is that really your purpose? If it's your purpose and it's what you're called to do, it has to make you money. But if you do not have the belief, as the word says, your gift makes room for you. But if you don't have the belief that room can be made for you, then it's going to come to somebody like me who will be glad.
That's right. Listen, you guys, check it out. Takiyah Diamond.
Yes.
I'm speechless. Make sure you guys check out her book. One of her books, The Power of the Prophet, which is on Amazon, as well as Barnes and Noble, and find her on Facebook. And she also has a website. She's always available and accessible to any and everybody, no matter who they are. And Takiyah, appreciate you coming on tonight.
Thank you so much for having me, my dear. I appreciate you having me here. And let's do it again. We got more to talk about. Let's pull up the weeds and plant new seeds for a transformed life.
Absolutely. Everyone have a blessed night. Take care.